Hey everyone, NorCal Prepper 22 here. It's been a long time. Uh, gosh, probably going on 8 years since I made a video. Um, not much to say. Just started into the YouTube gun community and just got busy with life. A lot of things happened, and I hadn't really done enough videos to. For it to be such a huge part of my life. So I kind of just all got put on the back burner. And, here we are in, November of 2020 after a shitstorm of an election, a divided country, just a lot of crazy shit going on. So, I thought, why not kick off the videos again, talk about guns, talk about guns and the mindset of prepping and what's going on. And I'm going to do a little series here, I think. At least 3 videos, maybe 5. Somewhere between 3 to 5 of some pistol long gun combos, right? So basically looking at what I have in my safe, similar weapons to what I have, we can talk about. But just an idea of pairing up a couple different weapons. So this will be video 1, like I said. So it'll be a long gun pistol combo, 2 guns, the world ends for whatever reason, nuclear war, zombies, Democrats marching across the land, what have you. So with that in mind, we're going to start off with what I'm going to call the what Rick Grimes should have had in the Walking Dead series. So for any of the Walking Dead fans, everybody knows I'm a huge zombie film and show lover. I love everything about the zombie apocalypse. It's just a really cool, from a prepper standpoint, it's a really cool idea because zombies sort of force you to prepare for everything in a way. So Rick Grimes, as his main sidearm, carried the Colt Python. Now, the Colt Python 357 Magnum, can also shoot .38 Special, is a classic, iconic revolver. And some people don't like wheel guns. I like wheel guns. Probably not going to be my first choice as a sidearm, but they do have their advantages. They do have, some. They have their places, right? Whether as backup guns or even primary carry guns. So, but Rick Grimes carried a stainless steel Colt Python, and and 357 is still a very popular round throughout the country. .38 Special is a very common backup gun round with backup revolvers. So scavenging for ammo, probably not the hardest thing in the world. It's definitely not as common as 9mm. Probably on par with 40 Smith & Wesson, 45 ACP, right? So, but the problem with the Colt Python is, for a long time, like when the show came out, the Colt Pythons weren't in production. You had to find a used one, and they were very expensive. Lo and behold, 2020 comes around. Colt started making them again, and there was a string of issues. There was a recall. Hickok 45 covered that. A couple other people on YouTube did. And it was just a very, very expensive gun. So, to me, under the guise of what Rick Grimes should have had as far as a combo, but what he should have carried as his sidearm should have actually been the Smith & Wesson model 686 Deluxe Plus. That's what this is. So this is a 686 Deluxe Plus, so stainless steel with the wood grips in a 6-inch barrel. But the plus is it's a seven round cylinder versus a 6. You get that one extra shot. Now, I don't know if Rick Grimes actually needs this, considering in the show, I don't think I've ever can remember a time seeing Rick reload during a firefight. He's just constantly seems to have a cylinder that has unlimited ammo. But if the world was going to hell and I was going to carry a wheel gun on my hip, it would be this Smith & Wesson. For one, the Smith & Wesson revolvers across the board are just easier to come by. So if you want to find parts and accessories, it's very easy to do so. Two, Smith & Wesson just has a very, very good reputation for quality in their revolvers. This 686, this is my personal 686, 357 Magnum. And it is just nice having that 7-round cylinder. God, I mean, it's got such a, now I've looked at, I almost bought just a regular 686, that was a 6-round, and the hammer pull was just standard, but it's just, you know, having that 7th round, that hammer pull is just a little easier, a little shorter. It's a very well-balanced revolver. I mean, 357 has 357 recoil. You can shoot 38 special if you're wanting to just target practice to get used to the weight of the gun, because it is a heavier gun. But it's stainless steel, so it's a lot more weather resistant. It's just a well-made revolver. So if you wanted to carry a revolver because revolvers have just as many, here, with the trigger mechanism and the hammer mechanism, they have about as many moving parts as any other pistol, an auto-loading pistol, right? It's got just as many moving parts. The parts you don't have to worry about failing would be any sort of safety mechanism or jamming up issues. The cylinder could jam as far as not rotating. That's just not as heard of. You usually have to physically damage the gun for that to happen, not just be in inclement weather, harsh conditions, or long periods between cleanings, right? That's very rare to happen. You see that a lot with a lot of single action, like lower quality cowboy guns, the Heritage, Rough Rider, the Ruger Wranglers. They will sometimes jam up as far as the cylinder not rotating. But with a high-end gun like Smith & Wesson, that's just not going to happen. Aesthetically, I think this is a beautiful gun. When you look at it from this side, with the cylinder release, the ejector rod, it just looks really good. When you get over to this side, it's an ugly gun. This is not its good side. But it's got a good looking barrel. Obviously it doesn't have, the ridge like the Python does, but it's a good, aesthetically and overall, it's a good looking gun. And I just find this to be a better option over the Colt Python. So, take that, for what you want. As far as a long gun, Rick, over the seasons of The Walking Dead, has had a wide array of long guns that he's used. In the first season, pretty much the long guns were shotguns or bolt-action rifles. You would see M4s, M16s, any sort of AR-style platform rifle laying around, but they didn't really use them. It was pretty much just shotguns and bolt-action rifles. And that kind of also continued through Season 2. In Season 3, we started to see more assault weapon style platforms, more modern sporting rifles with the M4, M16, and AR platform rifles. But eventually, when you get in towards the later end of the seasons to the time when Rick left the show, Rick was very fond of using an AK-47. And I think if you're in any other state besides California like me, the 7.62 by 39 is a much more common round. In California, it's still relatively common to where I can find Wolf or Tula, sometimes Fiocchi on the shelves. But with California, with their semi-automatic rifle laws, you have to go featureless on an AK-47. With an AR, you don't necessarily have to go featureless because you can get the Juggernaut system or the split pin where or split button where you push the button, the rifle, the lower and upper split, and that's what ejects the mags. I'm not advocating it. This is just what your options are. But with the AK-47, you can't do that, so you have to go featureless. And I shot a featureless AK-47. And I prefer an AK-47 over an AR platform as far as just standardized, just the way the pistol grips feel. The ergonomics of the AR just doesn't work for my big old meaty claws and fat guy wrists. It's too much like a Glock. So yeah, I probably. So that being said, scavenging for ammo, trying to find ammo. If you're in any other state, besides some of the really insane northeastern states, you'll probably be able to find it. So with that being said, I see some disadvantages to the AK-47, most notably reliability of the magazines. Some of the Milsurp steel magazines and some of the people that make the steel magazines to mil-spec are awesome. But there's a lot of cheap plastic ones out there that they jam up, they get dirty. A lot of my friends that do have AKs that I've shot, just if you're not on top of cleaning those plastic magazines, the quality of them are just terrible. The other issue is rocking that magazine into place. I've seen people think they've got the mag in place and drop it, and it's very embarrassing for them. It's hilarious for whoever's watching. But I do enjoy the power of the 7.62 by 39. I think that it's a more powerful round than the 5.56 223. I think that I think the 5.56 223 is better at longer distances. And as far as being able to penetrate, because of the velocity and because of the smaller diameter and how focused that energy is, the 223 5.56 is amazing. Like, if you're going to try to pierce through body armor, getting some of those green tip 5.56s, you can see those tests. I mean, it cuts through level 3A like butter, and with enough, with 4 or 5 shots in a relatively centralized area, there's those tests on YouTube where they crack the 3A. Or not the 3, excuse me, the 3. They crack the steel plates of the 3. So that's a great round. I have a 5.56 rifle, 223. But staying in that 7.62 by 39, in that Russian, because honestly, if you're going to stock up, if you're going to prep for the zombie apocalypse and be the next Rick Grimes, 7.62 by 39 is cheaper. You can buy it so cheap. And honestly, I think what the damage you do as far as into an organic target, I think 7.62 is better. So with that being said, staying within that caliber, but getting away from the AK, just because of the issues of, and the other thing too is in the movie or in the show, he's running a fully automatic AK. So the ability to find a fully automatic AK that's like a Soviet or Chinese made AK that's made to military specs, probably not what you're going to find. So if you find some of these other AK platforms that are made here in America that are semi-automatic, Some of them aren't as good as others, just like with the AR platforms, right? So if you want a good mil-spec rifle, and you want to have that power of the 7.62 by 39, the platform I choose is the SKS rifle. Now, with the SKS, you're semi-automatic. You're limited to 10 rounds unless you get one of those really goofy plastic rock-in magazines. Most of the time, you're either not going to be able to secure them into the stock, especially if you want to keep the factory wood stock. If you want to get some of these Monte Carlo synthetic stocks, those seem to work better. But I like the actual military wood stock. This is a Type 56 Chinese SKS. It's got the spike bayonet, which is another reason why I like the SKS, because hey, you know what, if you run out of ammo, you can still spike your zombies in the head. So there's that. Clear. The other great thing about the SKS over the AK-47 is the fact that you have to use magazines in the AK-47 detachable magazines, where this has an internal box magazine, as you just saw. That's how you let it out. Now you load this thing with stripper clips. The stripper clip slides right in here on the bolt, and you push them down. However, if you don't have any stripper clips, if you lose your stripper clips, if your stripper clips wear out and don't keep the ammo under tension, you can load them one round at a time. So it's been shown throughout the years that the SKS is the more accurate platform than the AK-40 over the AK-47 when you want to be in the 7.62 by 39. You got your adjustable distance sight here. You can adjust for windage with your front sight there. So just depending on what you need. It's very simple to break down. Honestly, there's plenty of videos out there where people break these down to field strip them just using a loose round, using the tip of that round to lift this lever if it gets on the dust cover, to pull the recoil spring out, or to let loose of the gas system, or to punch out the pin on the trigger assembly. The SKS has been called the poor man's brand. It's a very reliable design that's still in service around the world today. It's got an integrated cleaning rod at the butt. You have a trap door for your cleaning kit. So honestly, if you just had a small can of Lucas Products cleaner, lubricant, protectant, CLP, a small bottle of that and a rag, this rifle is pretty self-contained as far as maintenance, and it doesn't require a lot of maintenance. Now, being that these are mil-spec surplus rifles, when you get them, they will be covered in gooey and crusty cosmoline. It takes forever to clean them. This took me hours to scrub this thing. Go shoot it. More of it comes out of nooks and crannies, strip it back down, clean it again, then lube it all back up. But again, I found that the idea of the 7.62 by 39 to be a great long gun zombie apocalypse. The world is ending. The Democrats are marching across the country. Long gun round. I think that it's an intermediate round, so it's not like you've got a 308 30-06 round, so you can condense them down a little more. You can carry more, but it's definitely a lot more powerful than some of the other intermediate cartridges out there. 30-30, .30 carbine, 260, 270. I mean, you're not even going to find a whole lot of semi-automatic rifles that take those calibers. You're going to end up in a bolt action or a lever action. I mean, a .30 carbine, yes, and the M1 carbine, but that's a very underpowered round if you need to reach out and touch someone. This will reach out, 300 yards, 300 meters pretty easily. So yeah. So if I was gonna be the Rick Grimes of the zombie apocalypse, of the world ending, right? That's what I would have. I would have me an SKS rifle and a Smith & Wesson 686 Deluxe Plus. I just think that this is a very good combo in keeping with the 357 7.62x39 of Rick Grimes in the Walking Dead series. So just a little fun video for coming back, and I'll be filming some more of these videos of this, again, of two guns and long gun pistol combos for the world going to shit. So thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next video.